Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. We are in the kitchen this afternoon and going to be cooking up a sweet corn pie. Now, it's not exactly what you think of when you think of pie, but I think you're going to find that it's delicious. So I'm going to put on my apron and let's get cooking. To make corn pie, it stands to reason that the main ingredient is going to be corn. Now, I am starting off with 3 ears of fresh corn. You can use 3 cups of frozen corn or canned corn, but if you use canned corn, make sure that you rinse it real good and get any salt or anything off of your canned corn. And I'm just going to get these shucked up and we'll start cutting it off the cob. And now that I have the corn husked and silked, now husk just means pulling the green part off of the outside of the corn, those leaves, and then silking is the part that they almost look like hairs. And let me see, every once in a while I'll miss one, and if I did, I will show you. See, that's part of the little bit of the husk that was at the bottom. Let me see if I see a silk somewhere that I might have missed. I know most of you know what a corn silk is, but just in case, well, that one wasn't enough to show you. But anyway, it is the hairy looking stuff that comes off the end of the corn that actually for each one of those makes a kernel of corn. There's one, a part of one. And you just got to get all of that off. You don't want that stuck between your teeth while you're eating anything made from corn. But with this corn pie, I'm just taking all of this corn off of these cobs. I will not be throwing these cobs away. What I will do with them is I will put them in a freezer bag and I will save them in the freezer until I get enough of them to make corn cob jelly. And maybe I'll make a video on that later. I don't know. But right now, we are just, see, there's a corn silk right there. Just in case you don't know what it is. But there is my corn that I'm going to be using in this recipe. And here is how simple this recipe is. All of the ingredients for this is going to go into a blender. So that corn that I just cut up, I'm just going to pull that down into the blender. I should have got my little spatula doohickey and that would have made this easier, but I didn't. See, and any corn silk that I might have missed, I'm just going to pull out of there. Even though this blender is powerful enough, it would take care of any corn silks I might have missed. I would just assume them not being there and take a chance of somebody getting one between their teeth, but there we go. So here is my corn. This was 3 ears of corn, like I said, or 3 cups if you're using canned or frozen corn. Now, the next ingredient is going to be cornstarch. And I just get my cornstarch at the Benton Vent because they carry all types of cooking supplies, baking supplies, and they carry it in a very large, you can get very large amounts, you can get bags of the stuff, or you can get smaller amounts. But I am just needing 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now this recipe, like I said, this can't be any more simple than what I'm doing right here. It is just tossing things into this blender. And 3 eggs. These eggs are from my girls. They do such a good job, and I like to do them one at a time in a bowl, just in case I happen to drop an eggshell or something in there. I just soon nobody end up with a crunch at the end, because that's no fun. So there we go. And last one. And that is 3 eggs. Trying to kind of keep it clean as I go. Next is 1 tablespoon of baking powder. One tablespoon of baking powder. Now, this next item, I'm going to ask you very sincerely. Normally, I say, you know, do your own thing, do whatever you like, use what you've got. But please, on this, do not substitute. I need a knife out of here. Please do not substitute any other fats in place of butter. Please use only butter, because if you use another like margarine or lard or anything like that, I cannot promise what the outcome will be. Okay, so please only use butter. Okay, I get it here. I don't think I need quite that much. Okay, so half a cup of butter, because butter makes it better. But butter also is something that just helps this come together, and the flavor is going to be enhanced by the butter. So please, please, room temperature butter. Again, if you use margarine or something, I'm not going to guarantee the outcome, okay? And the very final ingredient is, and I know some people balk at this because it's a processed food, but it is what it is. This is sweetened condensed milk. And this is the final ingredient in this. So this is a sweet corn pie. Now, some people make corn pie that is savory. They'll put sausages, they'll put cheeses, they'll put all types of different ingredients in it. And if you want to make something like that, that is absolutely fine. They are wonderful. I love corn just about any way you can fix corn. I don't think I've ever fixed corn a way I didn't like it. But this is for a dessert, in case you have not understood what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to put it on my blending base, my blender base, and let this blend up until it's smooth. I won't make you endure that because it's going to be very loud, so I will come back once I get that blended. While that was being blended, I went on ahead and greased up my pie dish. Because of the sweetness of the corn and the condensed milk that's in it, I greased it fairly heavily because I don't want it to, the sweetness to caramelize and stick into the pie dish. So that's why it is greased pretty heavily. And I am just going to do this. You see it's very smooth and it smells wonderful. Now this, because it has the eggs and the baking powder in it, it's going to rise some. So I'm going to put it on another dish to put it in the oven because I don't want it, you know, bubbling over and being all over the bottom of my oven. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to stick it in the oven, 375 for 1 hour. Well, our sweet corn pie has finished baking and cooling because you need to cool it down before you slice it. And I'm going to say it is not the most elegant looking dessert that I've ever made. It on camera, it looks pretty brown. I will say it is a deep golden brown. It's not burned, but it is a deep golden brown. Now I have seen where some people will put toppings on it, such as fruit preserves, pie fillings, the fruit pie fillings, cherry, apple, whatever is your favorite fruit pie. Putting that on top of it, that I'm sure would pretty it up a little bit. You could use whipped cream on top, that would pretty it up a little bit. But I wanted to try it and I'll tell you, I've never cooked this before. Unlike the other stuff that I have showed you, there's some things I like to cook and try for you and just to see how it is. So my husband made the comment when he came in earlier that it smelled like cornbread baking. Well, that stands to reason since it is made out of corn. And here is what it looks like. Now you'll notice that whenever I poured that into the pie pan, or the pie plate, I guess, there was no pie crust because it makes its own little crust. And it is custard-like. It is spongy. Look, let me get it where you can see it. It does have a sponge to it. See, it is soft and spongy and kind of custardy. So let's taste it and I will give you my honest opinion about it. Here's my honest opinion. Yes, this definitely, especially if you put fruit preserves or something on top of it, would definitely serve as a dessert. It could also be used as a side, because if you like sweet cream style corn, this is very reminiscent of, because I love, my mama used to make the best creamed corn, and that's a lot of what this tastes like. Now, of course, she didn't use sweetened condensed milk in it, but I think the milk and the sugar along with the sweet corn definitely makes it taste a lot. And I'll even see if I can get it up close where you can see it. Again, it's got a cut. It's not a bread type. It's not like cornbread. It's not mealy like cornbread. It's smooth, but it does taste like cream style corn. I love corn, so I have no problem with this. I tell you, probably though, if I were serving it as a dessert and if I wanted to put, I don't know that I would put fruit on it. I mean, I would just to change it up, but I would probably, what I would if I wanted it as a dessert is I would come in and add a little bit of vanilla, maybe a teaspoon of vanilla. And I think I would like some nutmeg in it, or right around the corner is pumpkin spice time. So I think even a little bit of pumpkin spice in it would be good. Of course, cinnamon and allspice and all of that. Just, I like those flavors no matter what. But I think that would really take this over the top if you added some things to it. So there is my fair assessment of it. I think this is a very good corn dish. I don't know that I would just flat call it dessert. It's sweet enough to be dessert, I'll be honest with you. It's very sweet because it does have that sweet bicolored corn, and it does have the sweetened condensed milk. So it is very sweet. It does taste like a dessert, but it also, because of that strong corn flavor in it, tastes a lot like Mama's cream style corn. But it was very easy to make, and if you're trying to use up that extra corn that is in your fields now, or that you're able to get at a good price at the market, this is a good way to use it. But again, I'm a corn person. I'll eat it any way you throw it at me, and this was not a bad way. So give it a try. If you do, let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. Would you make any changes to it, or would you just eat it as corn? again, I'll eat it any way you throw it at me. So I may try this again. I'm not going to promise it. I probably would add some extra flavorings to it just to change it up a little bit. So there you go. There is my opinion about sweet corn pie. And you let me know down in the comments below if you've tried this, what you think, and how you fix yours. I love y'all. I hope you come back again real soon. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.